So here we go, we're going to run Magic Sword. We're going to do, this is normal beginning mode, so we're leaving the game at the default normal difficulty, and we're going to select beginning from the level select. So let's get started. So you can see here, we could go all the way up to floor 33 if we wanted to. That's a different category, and I'll be honest, it's no fun to play. So here we go. Actually, shouldn't oops, that's fine. I'll just leave the timer like that. I'm supposed to start the time on control, but that's okay. So yeah, so this is Magic Sword, the story of a beautiful shirtless man trying to save the world from the evil Lord Drakmar. Now you have a very limited moveset in this game. You can jump, you can slash, and you have a special move called the Zenadine, which is just easier, frankly, to call it the special technique, where it wipes the screen of enemies, damages bosses, gives you iframes, all in exchange for 1 bar of health. So you can leverage the special technique very efficiently on bosses and to improve your movement and to remove hazards. But for a speedrunner, this game is all about balancing out your health usage and you're balancing out using your health on special techniques to increase the speed of the run, essentially. So you are given 3 continues. That is the maximum, and they are typically all leveraged in the speedrun. And also there are hidden doors like that one. There's just a random trigger somewhere on the floor, well, not somewhere, in specific locations, to pop up hidden doors to help you skip a few floors, which that's speedrun tech all the way. So this is the second boss floor. We're gonna get that fairy. You have to hit her with your sword to get her to drop the extra apple to get more health. The world record route tries to not leverage the fairies for speed, but then it really reduces how much you can get hit. So it's a bit of a trade-off there. This is the gold dragon. We do not have the gauntlet. The gauntlet is a big blue... Well, it's a big blue gauntlet. You'll see in the bottom right-hand corner my item box right there. There we go. So pretty standard backup gold dragon fight where we did not have the gauntlet going in. We can start laying into him a little bit faster if we already have it, but that's okay. So each one of these little intervals here, you'll get points for keys that you have, which I don't collect because I don't need, because they're used to open up cages to release allies, which I also don't need because they lag the screen. Also, you get 4 bars of health, which is what I do need. So that's the one thing that's useful out of that entire thing. We grab this chalice here to get some invincibility, and we just roll right through. Floor 6 is the first really heavy technical stage here, so bear with me one moment. That is a behaving bear. He backpedaled so that the magical portion of my attack could kill him. Now, this is pretty lousy. Okay. That's okay. Some bad movement tech there for me. And I made up for it with some good movement tech there, so we're all good. So the special technique I mentioned that generates iframes, we're going to use some of them right here to just walk through these thorns. Just going to walk through them and ignore them. And we get to the door. And we're moving on. Okay, next floor is floor 7. It's the fastest floor of the game. If you blink, you'll miss it. There you go. Open the hidden door. That is the spinal tap door, because it takes us to 11. I'm going to do some more special technique usage here to just iframes our way through a whole bunch of stuff. That corridor is kind of tight. Now, this game is similar to games like Ninja Gaiden, where for movement purposes, you do not want to do a standing slash, because a standing slash stops your forward momentum. What you're looking for here is you're looking for jumping slashes if you can manage it. Now, some of them are harder to manage than others because of certain RNG with enemy spawns. So you don't want to go like leaping headlong into a spot where an enemy may show up, because it's not really worth it. It's more detrimental than anything else. So, again, we'll take the fairy right here. Swipe at her to get the food. And again, we don't have the gauntlet going into the boss. The gauntlet, for clarity here, I didn't get a chance to explain it, is the second best item in the game, and it's the one used most frequently for the early part of the route. because it increases your melee attack power. And melee attack power does not, or melee attacks don't really do much to generate a lot of lag. So, and as long as you get your positioning right, you can really lay into a boss like that. That's fine. The boss will move dependent on where your distance to him, for the most part. So if you stand in the right spot all the time, then he won't jump. And that is leveraged more so toward for the boss on floor 49 than anything else. But that was a pretty good fight. The second cycle got a little loose. He kind of got away from me for a second there, but we handled it pretty well. Health is still good. I did say we will be leveraging all 3 continues, because it takes about 2 seconds to continue, and you get 10 bars of health in exchange, so that is a very good trade. So that gives us more flexibility to just use special techniques all the way through the route. I want to say that on this route, I'm going to use the special technique about 90 times. So I'm going to spend about 90 bars of health. Now, technically, if you start with 10, and each of the 3 continues gives you 10, you only get 40. So I'm doing a lot here. A lot of it comes from getting extra health from killing bosses and getting health from fairies. And no, I did the math on it. It was at one point my PB had like 97, but you know that was where I started to realize that I wonder if I could cut back a few of them and just eliminate fairies a little. So, and that route is a pain in the ass because the current world record route you have to reset if I'll take that. Wasn't really worth slowing down for that milk, which was, I think, worth half a bar of health. But we did it anyway. It's good for my bones, it is. I'm a growing boy. I mean, look, I'm not even wearing clothes. Ha! I like it. So yeah, that fairy appeared because I got to 300,000 points. Ooh, that was close. Jumped into the pit, but we avoided the skeleton there. Yeah. But yeah, the current world record route, because of the tightness of the health usage, you essentially have to reset if you get hit in the first 12 floors. At all. And you have to clear the first 6 floors fast enough to avoid the life drain, because guess what, folks? This was an arcade game first, and that quarter-munching game has a specific ability that carried over into this one, which is every 24 in-game seconds, you lose half a bar of health for absolutely no reason. So, it's trying to kill you, it's actively trying to kill you. So, so you just have to make sure you do everything you can to not die. This is the first wrapping level, so you could go left or you could go right. I opt to go left because there's 2 apples there that give you 4 bars of health. You have to use one special to be able to iframes through the fire, and everything's okay. This is another heavy movement tech floor here. It looks like we're going to use our first continue here, probably, because I believe I'm supposed to use 5 special techniques here, but I only have 4 bars of health. That's alright. Yep, here we go. Don't want to waste a bar of health on that for a second or so, that's perfectly fine. Oh, and the strongest weapon in the game technically is the door. Because the door will kill everything. Opening the door, just kill, you'll see it on floor 29. Oh, careful. This time we got the gauntlet, and I don't want the blue potion. So I have to avoid that. The blue potion increases your magic attack power, which is a range thing, and the sprite for the magic attack is so laggy that even though the attack power is probably close to the gauntlet, it's not, it slows the game down considerably. So these are the, oh, I missed the last one. That's okay. Almost got the quick kill there. That's okay, though. Then again, all you're doing is you're toggling between weapon attacks and special techniques. And the reason for that is that the other thing the special technique does, it's so versatile, we're 10 minutes into the run, I haven't finished explaining all the things it can do. It also primes your magic meter for 4 seconds. So like there's a magic meter at the bottom by your health that that refills after. There's a mistake. Sorry. We'll make it work. Free gauntlet. Oh man, whatever. Look at all these points. Damn points for no reason. I didn't have to open the first chest. I was supposed to do the second one.
Grind says, watch out for the castle bears.
Oh man, those bears are jerks. In most games, birds are jerks. In this one, I guess technically bats are jerks. Yeah. So you saw me do a little back and forth there? That guy was such a troll. It's okay. That little back and forth, you can manipulate the gargoyle spawns. If you stand on a specific spot, they will spawn in the direction you're facing. So if you quick turn around before they spawn, then they'll spawn the other way. Problem solved. This jump validates the run. Chicken jump. There's a chicken in that chest. It's worth 3 bars of health, and you lose like 2 seconds every time you miss the jump, because it's a pretty tight window. So the run is validated, because I got it on the first try. So yeah, the magic meter down at the bottom, you'll see when I slash, it empties, and it takes about a second to refill. If you keep slashing, if you just mash the slash button, your subsequent attacks will be a whole lot weaker until you let that magic bar fill all the way. So that's one of the benefits of the special technique, is that it automatically primes that for you for 4 whole seconds, which is an eternity. It really is. Doing well. Ah. We are doing well. So far, the only game I've run that was overestimate was River City Ransom. Alright, here is the level that will show you that the strongest thing in the whole game is the door. See that green dragon there? He's not a real boss, we don't have to fight him. But if we get to the door, you can listen to him die. Poor guy. The door is OP. The door needs to be nerfed. Alright, see if we get a behaving wizard. We don't. Sometimes he will harmlessly float along the top of the screen, and you don't have to waste a bar of health killing him. But you really don't want him to knock you around a little bit, so...
Seems a little bit of lag, too, when you have to kill him.
Yeah, you also do lose a little bit of time. Although, the longer he hangs out, it does kind of lag in its own way, so... Next, manip here. Get those gargoyles to spawn left instead of right. This floor is heavily routed because this floor is a huge pain in the butt. Normally. Under normal circumstances. Fine, just walk backwards. I don't even have to kill you. It's that upright bear problem that was being discussed earlier. So on to floor 32. More movement tech, jumping over some stuff, killing some other stuff. And again, any floor that has bats in it, you really want to be careful, because the bats are spawning on a global timer for the floor. Which means that if you do the floor cleanly and you don't get hit, they'll typically spawn at the same time as you're navigating through the floor for you. But if you get hit once, they are going to spawn, it'll feel like they're going to spawn whenever they want. Because they're not going to show up at the time you expect them to. Because you're going to be about a second or two behind where you normally are on the floor at that point. Alright, so we're coming up to floor 34. This is another hidden door floor. It's going to take us to 36, which will then take us to the biggest run killer of the entire game. From a speedrun perspective, anyway. It won't kill the run, but it could slow it down tremendously. So floor 36 is the Hydra boss. And we want the gauntlet here just like we want it for all the other bosses. However, all the other bosses, if it wasn't in one chest, it would be in another. In this case, there's no guarantee, but there it is. That was a 1 in 3 RNG roll right there. It could be the gauntlet or the King's Crown, which increases your defense, which who needs defense in a speedrun? Or the blue potion, which increases your magic power, and there's just a huge lag fest. Yeah, just don't get hit. You know. Yep, pretty much. But this will save us a good 20 seconds compared to the next fastest way to kill the Hydra. The best example I can give for this is I will refer you, not in an advertising sort of way, but I'm going to refer you to my race in this game at Awesome Games Done Quick against ProJN, where I was ahead of him, and I didn't get the gauntlet, and he did. And by the time this boss fight was done, we were tied. He was like a full floor behind me at that point, too.
Really good.
Yeah, oh, it was perfect. It was perfect, because I was halfway through the fight when he started.
You said before,
And
like, it would be really great if one of us gets it and one doesn't.
Yeah. So that's great. That's great that we got the gauntlet there. That's, you know... you keep items for 2 floors, typically. So yeah, so which is why it feels like, well, why do I have to keep getting it if I'm not getting hit?
That's what.
Like, what's...
I thought it was one drop at first, and you kept talking
Yeah.
about hitting the floor.
So you see, I still have it here, but I won't have it on 38. So just passing through, ignoring the bugs as best we can. And floor 38 is Lag City. Welcome to Lag City. Doesn't seem that much right now. But wait for it. Those helixes of enemies show up. Praise helix. You will see the game will kind of churn to a stop here, and the frame count's gonna get really wonky. I'll take that apple, thanks. Yeah. We were doing testing, yeah.
Yeah, he was here last night setting up, so he did his whole...
Oh yeah, you don't think I set this all up today, do you? Yes. The majesty that is my Mario run. I can't wait to show everybody. Hopefully I remember all the safe strats I learned for World 8 on Thursday night. Yeah, don't get hit is the safe strat. That was the last hidden door, going from 39 to 42. And now 42 is, in a casual run, this is the last opportunity to get an ally. They're all behind these doors here. Well, not behind all the doors. Some of them are traps. That's okay. That did. No, this is the Japanese Famicom version. I'm running this one because the text is faster. It saves about 30 seconds compared to the US version. But there is a US version. Yeah. Yes, there is. Oh, hey, sure. I will absolutely go safe here. Go a little safe. I mean, my health was already good. As it is, I can use my 7 special techniques to get past all these really slow ball and chains that you can't beat the cycle on, and not continue. So now we get the last item here, which is the Thunder Sword. Na 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 na.
At least twice a day for the last week and a half.
Nice. That's okay. So. There's lots of tech to try to improve movement on this floor over the weeks, over the weeks and months that I've been grinding this game away. Now we're introduced to the last, I guess, common enemy, for lack of a better word, which is the floating skull. That guy right there. He moves in quick, and if you don't know he's coming, he's just gonna, like, float right over you and shoot a laser beam at you. Yeah, pretty much. It stinks. So we use a special technique here, but we are gonna pick up all the coins here, because even if coins aren't on the screen, they still lag the game if they're on the floor. So those coins, along with the coins from that previous special technique, would make this door animation just churn to a halt, practically. So, yeah, so we're saving time by doing that. Spending time to save time. More food. Have time to eat. A lobster. Get an apple too. In one bite, yeah, just gulp it down. So, moving right along, and now we've spent the whole game wanting gauntlets, and here is the best item in the game, the Power Stone. The Power Stone generated that orange laser that you just saw coming off of my sword. Because lasers in a game with swords. That's okay. It's true. That's beams. That's different. It's not lasers. That's beam sword. Ask anyone. Master Chief. That shuriken gives the most health of all the items in the game. I picked the one up on 33 as well, but did not mention it gives you 6 bars of health. Apparently that is a Capcom standard for a shuriken to be a big health item. Okay. So our health is really, really good here. Wow. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this health. With 2 continues still, and 2 bosses left. I'm pretty sure world record is out because I've taken so many fairies. That's okay then. So this is the one where your distance to the boss should manipulate his movement, or his intent. There's a power stone right over here I'm gonna grab. And I can kill him right there. The reason he didn't jump at all, because these chimeras love to jump, was because of how far away from him I was. I was at the exact distance needed to just freeze him in place. And down he goes. Yeah, he caught his foot. All the health he had left was in his paw. Alright, so moving on to floor 50, right at 20 minutes, that's pretty good. Is this the last floor of the game? This is Drakmar's floor. And it's all wavy gravy here, and the key to this whole thing is you can move through this floor very efficiently, but it puts you at risk of losing your Power Stone. Now, I have so much health that that almost doesn't matter, so I will definitely try to go for all the movement tech. Yeah, because I could have picked that up. That's okay. I could have picked that up and that would have been fine. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the magic rod. The magic rod's okay to pick up because it just makes your magic meter fill more quickly. You see where it says magic 00, that would go to 60 and slowly count down. And for those 60 seconds, your magic meter fills in half a second rather than a full second. Yeah, he's bored. He's been waiting for a challenge, so we'll pick up this chicken. And, I mean, I can just alternate sword slashes and special techniques here because I have so much health. And 2 continues. So every time you see my health dropping by a bar at a time, every other attack I do. But it's more efficient this way. You can kill him in about 45 seconds if all you're doing is alternating sword slashes. There we go, perfect. But we're still going to have too much health at the end of this. And down he goes. We're 36 seconds away from the end of the run. Because the last thing we have to do is we have to decide whether to destroy the black orb, which he was holding that contained all the evil in the world, or take it. That's the final input. Heads is destroy it. Heads is destroy, tails is take it. You got 30 seconds. Destroy? Yep, so destroy is the fastest thing to do. Anyway, because it's the first option you're given. The orb will drop down, and, yeah. And there we go. And time. So 22:03, and I started the timer a little early, so it's basically pretty close to 22 flat. It's not bad. The world record for this game is 21:39. So, yeah, so within by me, yeah. Within half a minute of world record. It's pretty good. Check out the streamer on the channel that you're already on. You know. So yes, that was Magic Sword. That was good. The estimate came in really well here. So we are Arachne Darkness. Thank you so much for the host. And